This tour won't leave anyone indifferent. Why? Because you won't find another villa like this on the entire coast. It's within walking distance of the sea, and I'll tell you all about its other advantages as we go. Welcome to the Costa Brava. We are in the town of Calonge in the Torre Valentina neighborhood. And as per tradition, before I invite you inside, friends, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. My name is Marina. You're watching the Damlex Realty channel. And now, let's go. So, as I mentioned, we are in the neighborhood of Torre Valentina. I'm not exaggerating when I say it is one of the finest seaside communities on the Costa Brava. You'll see exactly why during our tour. As for this specific house, it is located on the second line from the sea. A flat road leads right to the property, which is perfect if you enjoy walking or if easy access to local infrastructure is a priority for you. From here, you can reach the nearest supermarket on foot. But the real highlight is the plot of land that greets us as we enter. It is divided into two levels, featuring both a flat upper terrace and a flat lower area. You might wonder why the entire plot isn't level. Well, the Costa Brava is known for its mountainous terrain, and finding flat land, especially near the sea, is extremely rare. However, this plot is truly fantastic and spacious. If you have children, there's plenty of room for them to play. You could even set up a playground on the lower level, which we'll show you shortly. There is ample space for sun loungers and a lawn for relaxing. Also, take a look at how wide and convenient the entrance to the garage is. I'm mentioning the garage now because it's the first thing we see as we enter the property. Right here, we have all the household equipment and the garage. Some might say, well, for a villa like this, it's a bit small. But from my perspective, the size is just right. So why do we need a garage for 5 or 6 cars? As people sometimes build, you often see garages the size of half the house. Why have all that empty space? It's just pouring money into concrete. In my opinion, this is a perfectly sized garage that can accommodate multiple large vehicles comfortably. Plus, we have plenty of parking options. You can park a car right here or at the entrance where there's a designated area. You can even park in front of the house because the gated facade is quite wide. So, while the garage is compact, it is convenient and fully functional without any wasted space. What do we see when we enter the house? How are we greeted, whether as guests arriving from the street or as hosts welcoming someone in? Immediately, we are met with a view of the swimming pool, a glimpse of the sea, and a very spacious entrance hall with built-in wardrobes. Look at how much room there is. If this furniture isn't to your taste, you could easily place a console table here or organize the space differently. Right by the entrance, we have a bedroom with its own walk-in closet. In my opinion, this layout is incredibly practical. For instance, if you have a live-in nanny or staff, elderly relatives, or guests who are light sleepers and value their privacy, or if you simply want to house someone away from the master suite, this room is the perfect solution. It can function as a completely separate wing where you won't be disturbed by noise from the living room, and the person staying here won't constantly cross paths with the main living area. It features both a walk-in wardrobe and an ensuite bathroom with a shower. As you can see, both the bathroom and the bedroom are very generously sized. This entire block can be fully autonomous. The bathroom is also fully equipped. To reiterate, this space is ideal for someone you might not want to cross paths with for certain reasons, or simply if you value both their privacy and your own. At the same time, your guest, staff, or nanny can step out of this room and immediately access the main living area. Everything is on the same level, which is incredibly convenient. This is especially perfect for elderly relatives who value peace and quiet. They can enjoy their own tranquil space here. There is even an additional door to block out any extra noise, yet they still have direct, step-free access to the living room and kitchen. It's a very practical layout. Also on this level, right by the entrance, we have a guest powder room. It's compact but perfectly sized for its purpose. Throughout the house, you'll find high-quality fixtures. As you can see, the floors are marble and there is underfloor heating throughout the entire home. Now, let's move into the living room. The living room windows look out toward the pool. Personally, I love this kind of soft view. I understand that a view from a cliffside can be more dramatic or rugged, but I'm not a big fan of watching waves constantly crashing. This peaceful contemplation of the sea framed by pine trees appeals to me much more. In this kind of weather, and even on overcast days, it always feels quiet, calm, and serene. Over here we have the potential dining area since it's adjacent to the kitchen. No one is living in the house at the moment, so you can see it's missing some interior touches, perhaps some artwork or a proper dining table. However, a good-sized dining table would fit here perfectly, allowing you to enjoy meals with family and friends. That said, the kitchen also has its own dining space, so if you're comfortable having lunch or dinner in the kitchen, you can keep that concept. If not, you can place a table here and use this space differently, or perhaps just add a small breakfast nook. Personally, I would open up this entire area by removing this wall. It's not a load-bearing wall, so joining the kitchen and living room would be easy. By doing so, you could significantly increase the living area. You'd end up with plenty of space for the kitchen, the living room, and the dining area. In my opinion, this wall feels a bit unnecessary today. When the house was built, it was designed with a classical touch, and classical design typically implies separating the kitchen from the dining and living rooms. However, I would modernize it slightly. It would truly give the house a whole new vibe. The kitchen here is fully equipped. It features a steam oven, a built-in coffee maker, a microwave, an oven, and a refrigerator. The entire kitchen is of very high quality, with these ivory-colored lacquered finishes that look incredibly stylish. Actually, Provence is my favorite style, and this house can be very easily decorated and played up in that aesthetic. So we also have this additional room, which could easily serve as staff quarters since it includes a dressing area and its own bathroom. Your staff or service personnel could use this space to sleep and rest. This is also where they handle all the household chores, laundry, ironing, and they have a bathroom with its own shower. Why is this ideal as a staff room? Because there is a door that can be locked and they can have their own private entrance. For example, if you have part-time staff, it's very convenient. They arrive while you are resting. They have their own keys and enter from this side without disturbing the main part of the house to go about their work. At the same time, they can prepare breakfast if you don't feel like doing it yourself. This house is truly well thought out, even in these small details, for people who prefer not to deal with household chores and want to have permanent staff on hand, while ensuring their presence remains discreet and non-intrusive. I really appreciate this architectural solution. The second floor acts as a natural overhang, shielding this area from direct sunlight. This is a very smart design choice given our summer heat, as it ensures there's always natural shade here. In the summer, we can extend this shade by installing awnings. These can even be automated. To create extra shade during the hotter months, there's a large parasol here that covers a significant area. As you can see, right here is the sunbathing area, perfect for lounging and soaking up the sun. The house is very private. I always emphasize privacy because, especially when we're talking about villas of this caliber, it's essential. Take a look at the view ahead. This is also part of the property's territory. Beyond that green hedge and the statues lies the neighbor's plot, but it is a non-buildable zone. This means nothing can ever be constructed there, so this view will be preserved forever. Just down there is the sea. The walk to the beach takes 5 minutes at most. You'll find yourself on a stunning, picturesque beach that, most importantly, is never overcrowded with tourists. Take a look at the facade of this house. Some of you might find it a bit too classical, but if you were to paint it in the colors of a Provençal home, it would take on a completely different character. Furthermore, if the current look isn't to your taste, we've already consulted with the builders who finished this house. They confirmed that this section, this overhang, can be removed to create a flat roof. Doing so would instantly transform the house into a minimalist style, as it's this specific element that gives it its classical feel. It's just this triangular overhang. That's why when you see houses in photos and dismiss them simply because you don't like the roof or the style, don't be so quick to walk away. Always ask your realtor, what can be done with this house? How can we adapt it with minimal investment to turn it into your dream home? Because let's be honest, finding a house like this, and as I always say, location is everything. Finding a house like this, on a plot like this, in excellent condition, not old, not damp, not musty, is incredibly difficult. You should always look at how a property can be transformed. If nothing can be done, then you continue the search. The pool area here is truly fantastic. I love how it's integrated into the house. As you step outside, the exit flows right into the pool, which seems to blend into the sea on the horizon. Since it's currently the winter season, the jacuzzi is covered. But if you want to soak in the bubbles, it's right there. And again, whether you're in the pool or on the sun loungers, no one can see you and you don't see anyone else. This is exactly what people pay for when they buy a villa. We all want relaxation, peace and privacy, not windows looking directly into ours. So let's head back through the hallway and keep going. As you've seen, the ground floor consists of one bedroom, while the rest is the living room and kitchen area. Let's open this window. It's quite large here on the staircase. I've opened it slightly because I truly love solutions where a solid wall is replaced by glass. Some might say, but there's a house next door. Yes, but this window is here to create a sense of volume, and it works beautifully in the evening. You might have noticed the blind was down earlier. You can certainly keep it closed. However, once the trees grow taller, the neighboring house will be hidden from view. But this glass, this sense of openness will remain. That's why these decisions must be made at the initial design stage. As for privacy on this side, it can easily be managed with landscaping. Also, take a look at the width of the staircase. This is a crucial detail. Many houses, even modern ones built recently, have staircases half this size. But you have to agree, walking up a staircase like this feels much more pleasant. And of course, there's this double height light effect here with the chandelier. The space allows for a long, elegant light fixture that would further emphasize the volume and height. Overall, there's so much room for imagination here. By the way, the stairs are equipped with sensors that light up automatically in the evening as you go down, so you don't even need to flip a switch. So we are in one of the bedrooms of this remarkable house. Every bedroom here, except for one, faces the sea. And it's no coincidence that the bed is positioned this way. It's so that the moment you wake up, the first things you see are the sea and the pine trees. What's even better is that we have this fantastic terrace and all the bedrooms have direct access to it. Since we've moved up to the second floor, the view has become even more panoramic, not just of the sea, but of the neighboring town as well. As you can see, the terrace is quite wide. The floor is marble, and all the drainage systems are perfectly in place. Even though the house is currently unoccupied, you can see it's in excellent condition. I'd like to draw your attention to the thickness of the walls. When people build for themselves, they really do it right. You won't find walls of this thickness in a typical house built for speculation or quick sale, because this type of construction is very expensive. It requires a significant amount of brick, concrete, and materials. But thanks to this, the house remains dry with absolutely no dampness or that old house smell. I'll repeat, no one is living here right now, yet the air is fresh. This bedroom features its own walk-in closet, and mind you, this closet is the size of an entire bedroom in some apartments in Marseille, and its own ensuite bathroom. I've run into a bit of a snag with the windows though. I never seem to get along with them. I accidentally closed these shutters and now I can't figure out how to open them back up without the owner here. But trust me, everything was wide open just a moment ago. Let's keep going. Here is another bedroom. As you can tell by the furniture, it's currently set up as a children's room. However, it's plenty spacious enough for an adult as well. It features built-in wardrobes and that same access to the terrace. And believe me, this house is incredibly warm. The sun has heated it up so much that our cameraman is already nodding in agreement. It's actually getting hot in here. Keep in mind, the heating is turned off and no one is living here, yet the house stays very warm. This is exactly why I mentioned earlier how great that overhang is on the ground floor. We spend most of our day in the living room, and this upper terrace acts as a canopy for the area below, protecting the living room and kitchen from overheating. But of course, there is air conditioning throughout the house, so you won't have to worry about our hot Mediterranean summers. Moving on, here we have a bedroom of the same size as the previous one, but with a slightly different furniture layout. We have a desk area running along the wall, and once again, the same access to the terrace. You might notice that this room is a bit darker than the first two, and that's precisely because we are behind that architectural overhang I mentioned earlier. By the way, if anyone feels they need more indoor space, it is possible to move this wall outward, and that would be a more significant renovation, but you could increase the room's square footage by taking over part of the terrace. Personally, I think the current room size is perfectly adequate and there's no need to overcomplicate things. This room also has its own ensuite bathroom with a shower and a window facing outside. And here is the one room that doesn't face the sea. It was previously used as a playroom for children and a media room for watching movies. As you can see, it has a cozy, subdued lighting, and since it's not the brightest room in the house, it's actually perfect for those purposes. For instance, you could easily turn this space into a home office or keep it as a dedicated playroom where the kids can store all their toys. Welcome, this is the master suite. I can't even bring myself to call it just a bedroom. Upon entering, we find ourselves in a fireplace lounge. The fireplace is fully functional, a real one, not just for show. Everything here is designed so that you can sit and watch the sea while listening to the crackling of the logs. It honestly makes me want to grab a detective novel and light the fire. Picture this evening, soft lighting, gazing at the sea and reading your favorite Hercule Poirot or something more serious. For some reason, the atmosphere here instantly painted that picture in my mind. And if you happen to write detective stories yourself, you have everything you need. Your muse will never leave you here, because the very atmosphere of Spain, I believe, invites all kinds of inspiration. Here you can create your finest works, whether they be books or successful business projects. A home office with a sea view, as I said, the Muse will be a permanent guest here. By the way, all the furniture is custom made from solid wood and it will remain in the house once it's sold. Now, after a glass of wine and some rest by the fireplace, let's move into the bedroom area. After seeing those typically small Spanish bedrooms, this one feels so vast, it's almost intimidating. You almost want to shrink the space. I'm joking, of course. You can never have too much space, but here, especially on a bright sunny day like today, the room feels truly immense. We actually forgot to turn on the lights before filming. Everything you see is natural lighting, and the dimensions of this suite don't stop at the bedroom. We continue into the walk-in closet, which is fully fitted, and then into the master bathroom. Here we have a walk-in shower, a bidet, and a toilet. You might ask, why is there no bathtub in the master suite? Well, bathtubs aren't very practical in Spain. Firstly, water is quite expensive, and secondly, given our climate, you'd only really use a tub in the winter. Usually they just sit idle. Bathtubs are typically placed in children's bedrooms because it's much more convenient for bathing little ones. That's why one of the other bedrooms we visited has a tub. Usually a house is designed with at least one bathtub specifically for the children. But the house is not all this property has to offer. If this home catches the eye of someone who loves fresh fruit and organic produce, which is becoming more and more popular here in Europe, then this garden is for you. It might seem small, but it has everything: oranges, tangerines. I also know there are cherry and peach trees. I'm not an expert at identifying trees when they don't have leaves, so it's a bit hard for me to tell which is which right now. But if anyone is interested, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely ask the owner for a full list of all the fruit trees on the property. I can point out the lemon tree, though, because lemons stay green and bear fruit all year round. I also really love houses that are set back from the property boundaries. Those who aren't familiar with our local construction styles might be surprised and ask, well, how else would you build it? But here's the thing, in older homes, to save on retaining walls, houses were often built right up against the edge. Back then, there were no regulations about setbacks from neighbors. In older properties, you'll often find that you can't even walk around your own house because the back wall is stuck directly against a cliff or a boundary wall. First of all, that creates unnecessary humidity. Secondly, it means you can't have windows at the back of the house. Here, only one room, the media room, faces this side, while the other windows belong to the bathrooms. Still, you have to agree, having a window in the bathroom is a huge plus. It allows for proper ventilation and provides natural light. That's why I really appreciate this kind of architectural layout. Here we see a shed for the gardener's tools. Look at how tidy everything is, even though the house is unoccupied. This path leads from the living room, and you can also access the barbecue area from this side. There's a door here for easy access to the backyard from the kitchen, perfect if you're grilling, as well as the staff entrance I mentioned earlier. During the summer heat, you can enjoy a barbecue here in comfort, away from the scorching sun. The house itself creates a natural shade in this part of the plot, which is vital in our warm, sunny climate. The garden continues further back. If you feel there aren't enough trees, or if you'd like to plant your own tomatoes, feel free. You could easily set up a few garden beds here and have your own homegrown produce. This is the sunny side of the property, perfect for cucumbers, herbs, lettuce or onions. There is definitely plenty of room here for someone with a green thumb to get creative. We are now walking along the lower part of the plot, the area I mentioned earlier. If you have children or grandchildren, this would be an ideal spot for a playground. It's perfectly safe, with no risk of anyone falling. Let's head over to the edge. You'll find very few homes near the sea, or anywhere on the Costa Brava for that matter, where the property doesn't end in a steep drop or a cliff. This is a rare exception. It's completely safe, no one is going to fall or get hurt, and look how wonderful it is down here. We have this beautiful shade provided by the pine trees, making it a pleasant place to be regardless of the weather. If you don't need a playground, this area is perfect for yoga, stretching or working out. It's tucked away right beneath the terrace where we were walking before, just below the pool area. There are some amazing spaces down here. You could set up a gym, or if you're a creative soul, maybe a home cinema. The possibilities are endless. Originally, the owners designed this space as a gym. You can see the power outlets for fitness equipment and the mirrors already in place. I mentioned yoga for a reason. On a beautiful day, you can do your asanas outside on the lawn, and if the weather turns, you can easily move your practice indoors. Everything you need is right here without ever leaving the house. And check out this cool feature, a secondary kitchen. It's perfect if you want to host parties or events on this level. You could even move the barbecue area down here and entertain friends. As you can see, everything is neatly tucked away. We can close it all up and it disappears. All it's missing is some tableware and cookware, and you could easily install a stove here. But that's not all. The best part is right here. Take a look. Since we're filming on a Saturday, a day meant for relaxation, this is especially tempting. We have a sauna. It's pure bliss. Imagine finishing your workout and heading straight into what a fantastic hammam. We have both a hammam and a shower. And look how tidy it is. There's even a bucket for a cold plunge after the sauna. There's also a bathroom on this level. Finally, this is where all the pool equipment is located. Look how well thought out this is. Everything is convenient and compact. Sometimes these technical rooms are buried under the pool. They get damp and are hard to access. But here, if anything ever needs maintenance, a technician can just walk right in, do the repairs comfortably, and perform the technical service. It's perfect. Well, my friends, we've explored the entire house. I believe I haven't missed a thing, so let's head back and wrap up our tour. We have a house on the front line of the sea in a very prestigious community. Many people aren't familiar with this area yet, but believe me, having such easy walking distance to the sea while being close to all the infrastructure is rare. It's a quiet, peaceful location where everything is within reach. Yet you are completely shielded from the summer hustle and bustle. The house is exceptionally well built. The owners built it for themselves, not for resale, and I think you can really feel that quality. It's located on a cul-de-sac, so there's no through traffic passing your door. And of course, the ultimate ace up our sleeve is the sea view. Best of all, it can never be obstructed because, as a reminder, the land in front of the house is a non-buildable zone. As for the downsides, if you find any, it might be that the house isn't in the high-tech style so trendy right now. It's a classical design, but remember, this can easily be modernized with a renovation. Today, we are stepping away from our tradition of not publishing prices. We'll provide a link to this property on our website where it is listed. If you're interested, leave a comment and we'll organize a viewing for you. This can be an in-person visit or a live video tour if you're unable to come and see it personally at the moment. Well, friends, our tour has come to an end. If you have any remaining questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. This has been Marina from Damlex Realty. If you need someone with 20 years of experience in the real estate sector, feel free to reach out.